Let's talk about one of my favorite movies ever made ever, Muppet Treasure Island. So I'm going to review a few Muppet related projects because of the new Muppet reboot on Disney Plus dropping pretty soon here. And of course, with that, I want to talk about my favorite Muppet movies. Not all of them, because we're supposed to get another Muppet movie at some point, and so I kind of want to wait to do more of those reviews when that comes out. I'm sure we're getting because they're talking about Miss Piggy movies. So we'll see, but I want to talk about a few. So I went with the ones I liked the best, and one of the series versions of the Muppet Show reboot. Um, I did. By the way, that review for the Muppet movie is already up on my channel. Check that out. This is the second review in this series, and then I have a review already shot for the ABC Muppet series. So if you like Muppets, subscribe to my channel. It's one of my favorite things ever, despite me not talking about nearly enough, and I do need to work on that, but it is hard when a lot of the videos I make tie into other things, and there's not a lot of Muppet things to talk about. So that was a long way of saying fuck. But Muppet Treasure Island is one of my favorite Muppet movies. I did a review for Muppet Christmas Carol last December, right? And that movie is one of my favorite Muppet movies because I just think it's so charming and delightful. And this movie is kind of like that movie where it is Rizzo and Gazzo centric. I am going to be right back. My dogs are going off because a package got delivered, I swear. Anyways, this movie is very much like that movie. It's directed by Brian Henson, Jim Henson's son. Right? It's directed by Brian Henson. Yeah, Brian Henson, who did Muppet Christmas Carol, and they're both adaptations of classic literature. And while Muppet Christmas Carol is the better movie overall, this movie's really great too. First of all, Tim Curry is a great choice to be in this movie because he basically is a live action Muppet in real life, if you think about it. And so, like, he just has that energy and charisma that is just really wonderful. He feels like a guy who would have been a guest star on the original Muppet Show back in the day. So why not have him in a Muppet movie, right? Just a really great idea that really works for this movie. Him playing the villain is also really good. I think the human character, like Jim, is a little boring and basic. But honestly, this movie is such a fun movie that you don't really care. The point of this movie is to be a fun swashbuckling adventure with lots of comedy. And it has that. And I think the songs to this one are great. They're not like the best of any Muppet movie. In fact, I feel like they're sort of a little bit more forgettable. And I really don't like the Cabin Fever song, even as a kid when I watched that. Really never liked that. Mostly because even watching that, when I was watching it as a kid, I was like, what's cabin fever? Now you're like, oh, it's because they're on a boat and they'll get to you over time. But it's like, why is this scene in the movie? It just I don't know. I feel like if you cut that out of the movie has a perfect pace to it. It's just really well directed. It's got so much fun swordplay and energy to it. And I just love Tim Curry in this movie so much. Especially his song, When You're a Professional Pirate. It's just great stuff. I love this movie so much. And this has always been my favorite Muppet movie. I mean, it's not the best one. I acknowledge that. There are Muppet ones I feel like the emotions hit harder. There's ones that the comedy hits harder. But for me, this is the funniest one when I was a kid. So I just have so much nostalgia that it will always be my favorite. In the same way, I'll talk about this more when I do my Star Wars reviews, which are going to be a whole mess of in of themselves. But with this Star Wars, my favorite Star Wars movie as a kid was Phantom Menace. So you're never really gonna take that out of me. It's always gonna be my favorite Star Wars movie. That doesn't mean it's the best one, or I even would call it a good movie. But it's just the nostalgia's there, and so I just will always love it the best for me. There's a thing where sometimes your taste can overwrite the objective quality of a movie. Like sometimes you just like stuff and it doesn't really have to be good. You don't really have to sit and explain yourself. It's kind of why I'm against the term guilty pleasure a little bit, though not always. I think there are movies that you can just admit, like, yeah, that movie really sucks, but I have a good ass time watching it. Like, for me, the Poonaverse movies are like that. So, anyways, great Muppet movie review. Check that out.